Imagine a room that's essentially the den of a hardcore otaku. Yeah, we're talking explicit anime, video games, action figures. This room screams NEET culture. Mahiro rises from the chaotic sanctuary, feeling a little different. When she peeks into her phone, she screams, "Hold up! When did I turn into a girl?" Enter Mihari, her mad scientist little sister who looks her up and down, practically saying, "Not bad for my first gender swap experiment." Mahiro, obviously shocked, calls her out. But Mihari is brutally honest, saying, "You're an unemployed hermit addicted to adult content. You needed a change." But the cherry on top? Mahiro can revert back to her male self. She then tells Mahiro to embrace her girl life. Mahiro's reaction fires up some adult anime. Mihari then drops this bomb. Female arousal is 100 times more intense than males, basically saying her head might literally explode. So, afternoon rolls around, she's fully engrossed in her game, and then reality hits. The soda bottle she considers using as a makeshift toilet ain't gonna cut it. The dash to the restroom is comical. She returns, her game lost, and cries her eyes out. Mihari, watching through a secret cam, is not amused. Next morning, Mihari's giving Mahiro another checkup, and yep, you guessed it, Mahiro stinks. When asked when she last bathed, Mahiro casually says, 5 days ago. Ugh, really? So now, we have Mahiro contemplating her new female body. She's not impressed, but admits, baths aren't that bad. The next day, Mihari forced Mahiro to try a sundress. Mihari comment that she looks adorable, and all of Mahiro's male clothes gone. Mihari is pushing for this female lifestyle hard. She even hugs Mahiro and convinces her to embrace her new life. Mahiro finally stares at herself in the mirror and thinks, this isn't so bad. She agrees to keep up with the clothing choices. Next day, Mahiro finds a stack of new clothes. She's in her room twirling, truly feeling herself, until Mihari peeks in. Later that day, she's literally sobbing into her keyboard. Mihari, the supportive sister, is there to help. Mahiro spills her guts, saying she's hit a breaking point. She can't even enjoy her BL or hentai games anymore. She then spots a sports anime magazine on the floor. Light bulb moment. She thinks she has a cure for Mahiro's woes. Mahiro is then dragged out of her house, screaming like she's about to face the apocalypse. After a struggle, Mahiro finally caves in, and they have a sweet moment together. They start jogging, and Mahiro is lagging like a computer running on Windows 95. But while jogging, Mahiro starts to reminisce. She remembers how Mihari always outshone her in sports, in academics, you name it. She starts talking to herself, and this is the golden moment. She acknowledges for the first time that she's comfortable being a girl. Just when you think things are going well, Mahiro stops dead in her tracks. She's in pain. "My nipples hurt!" she cries out. Oh, the timing! Cut to a fancy department store where Mahiro is led into the realm of bras. She's measured, given options, and finally ends up in a sports bra. You'd think she'd feel triumphant, right? Nah, she declares another personal crisis. And that's where it leaves us, wondering what Mihari will plan next. Mahiro is completely immersed in her action video games, as usual. Then, here comes Mihari, prepping for her morning ritual. But then, a scream that could wake the dead echoes through the house. What happened? Mihari just had an unexpected ice bucket challenge, courtesy of a broken water heater. So, our gals decide, hey, why not hit the public bathhouse? Mahiro is acting like she's walking the plank here. She hasn't been out in public for 2 years, and off they go into the bathhouse. Mahiro's nervousness melts away when she sees water jets in the pool. But first, gotta rinse off. Then comes the shampoo tutorial from Mihari. She's playing the big sister now, teaching Mahiro how to maintain that long, luscious hair. Finally, soaking time. But Mahiro leaves early and leaves Mahari soaking alone. Mahiro's in the lobby, sipping chocolate milk like a boss. She watches these two adorable siblings, and her mind drifts back to the good old days. Back when she was the one teaching Mahari how to shampoo and dry her hair. Oh, how the tables have turned. Mahari comes out, super fresh, and calls Mahiro, Mahiro-chan, which Mahiro flips the script and calls her Oni-chan. She practically turns into a fireworks display, so elated, so joyful. Fast forward to the next morning. Mihari's making breakfast, and Mahiro's still struggling with her hair. But Mihari comes to the rescue again, tying it up with a pretty ribbon. After the meal, Mahiro's back in her room, and she notices the mirror that's been moved. Her hair is like a rebellion on her head, so she starts braiding her hair into twin tails, and Mahari, the ever-supportive sis, whips out her phone and turns into a one-woman paparazzi. We're talking twin braids, meatball buns, and even cat ears, and she even gets Mahiro to do a cat pose. So darn cute. But then, Mahiro gets emotional, starts calling Mihari out for her own fashion choices. The sibling rivalry is real, guys. So Mahiro goes back to playing video games, because priorities. Mahari walks in, and she's got a fashion glow up too. But Mahiro, she just goes back to gaming. Mahari's not having it, and smacks Mahiro with a pillow. Alright, the tension kinda eases. She notices Mahiro's sitting like a typical girl would, so Mahiro's like, we need to get our masculinity back. And they try all sorts of things, from lifting each other to sumo wrestling, but guys, it's just comically bad. And then Mahiro starts feeling ill. The mood shifts, and Mahari gets serious, doing a quick checkup. And then it hits. Mahiro discovers the, let's say, joy of the monthly female experience. She's literally screaming, thinking she's dying or something. But Mihari comes to the rescue with a heating pad and comforting words. Mahiro slowly crawls her way downstairs later, now feeling the joys of wearing a pad. She even gives Mihari props for never complaining about her own monthly ordeal. Few days after, Mahiro bolts to the bathroom and BAM! Some random high school girl's already there. Mahiro's so shook she forgets she had to go in the first place. The plot thickens. Mihari comes downstairs and introduces this bathroom crasher as Kade, her old middle school buddy. Our gal Mahiro's wheels are turning. What if she finds out about my transition? So Mihari bails to do her college homework and leaves Mahiro and Kade alone. Then their stomachs break the ice for them. Yep, it's time for lunch. And Kade is acting like a full-blown chef. Mahiro, who probably can't even boil water, watches in awe. They share a meal, and Mahiro is starting to feel more at ease. Kaede isn't the wild Gyaru she suspected. She's actually super down to earth. But hold on. They're sitting close on the couch, and then Kaede leans in. Our girl Mahiro is freaking out. Plot twist. Kaede was just giving Mahiro a makeup makeover. That evening, Kaede leaves, and both sisters agree she's awesome. Cut to the next day, both sisters are drooling over the new Titanic in Space trailer. Deciding to hit the mall, who do they run into? Kaede. Surprise! Mahiro's tricked into a girls' shopping spree, and Kaede calls it a date with Mahiro. Mahiro is then forced to pick a yellow one-piece swimsuit, while Mihari and Kaede are pulling out all the stops with their bikini choices. After that, our daring trio finally make it to the movie theater. As the epic spaceship Titanic crashes into a cosmic monolith, Mahiro has her own disaster to deal with, a marathon to the ladies' room. But the line is longer than the time it takes for a one-piece arc to end. Kaede, ever the big sis, gets suspicious and finds Mahiro in a bit of a wet predicament. Kaede vows to make this their little secret and scoots off to fix things. Meanwhile, Mihari is having her own chilling experience. Next day, after a video game binge, Mahiro realizes it's way past lunchtime. She finds Mihari bedridden. Mahiro, feeling bad, decides to take charge, vowing to become the ultimate little sister. This girl sets off on a domestic journey. Mahiro then tries to make rice porridge for her sick sister. She even calls Kaide for some culinary counsel, and ta-da! She pulls it off. Mihari's reaction? It tastes like boiled water, but I love it. As Mihari drifts off to her dream, we're thrown back to middle school. Mihari's wearing a cute hair clip, a gift from her then brother. The morning after, Mihari wakes up refreshed and finds Mahiro sleeping at the foot of her bed. Mihari bakes cookies, thinking back on how her relationship with her sibling has come full circle. Next day, Mahiro is watching Magical Girl Nicolara, a show typically for little girls. She not just watching, but mimicking the special moves with a rolled-up anime poster as a scepter. It's adorable. Just then, Mihari walks in and she plays along. Mihari then drops a reality check. She's got work at the university and will be gone till tomorrow. Mahiro reassures her that she'll manage. After Mihari left, you can almost taste her excitement. She changes into a comfy t-shirt and goes on an entertainment spree. Video games, manga, you name it. But guess what? She feels a wave of loneliness, and it's kinda heartbreaking. So what does our girl Mahiro do next? She orders a feast fit for a queen. But as she chokes on her food, it triggers an emotional nosedive. She leaves the kitchen in a mess and drifts off. Mihari comes back, and Mahiro is a hot mess, hair all damp and tangled. Mahiro breaks down and she calls Mihari Baka, but you can see it's a moment of deep connection. Next morning, they're back to gaming. Mihari wins and sends Mahiro on a grocery errand as a penalty. Mahiro's nervous, but she eventually steps out. At the supermarket, she's on the verge of a breakdown when a boy shows up. He's concerned and tries to help. She goes weak in the knees, but the boy stays by her side. Cut to them shopping together. Mahiro is awkward but grateful, and they even share a moment discussing the best meat cuts to buy. Just then, they overhear some girls commenting on how they look like a young romantic couple. Mahiro's flustered, not knowing how to feel about being the girl in this romantic equation. Leaving the supermarket, she bids goodbye to the boy she met, only to find out it's Mamaji, Kayade's little sister, and guess what? She's actually a girl. Yeah, anime logic. So next morning, Kaede and Mamaji show up at Mahiro's place, and Mamaji is now all dolled up. Mahiro barely recognizes her. She remembers her room is a mess and sprint to hide all her, mature stuff. Mahiro's room is now guest-friendly, and the two girls start discussing their taste in fashion. They also talk about skirts, and Mahiro's like, "You'd look adorable in one." Oh, the bonding moments are so cute. Then comes the tickle fight, but the joyride turns into a roller coaster when Mahiro crashes into her secret stash closet, and Momiji picks up an adult manga, and Mahiro is devastated. Surprisingly, Momiji shifts into boss mode, and they start packing all the no-no stuff. As they're lifting the boxes, chaos ensues again, leading to a very awkward position. Mihari bursts in like an FBI raid. Mahiro's blushing like a tomato, stuttering, "It's not what it looks like." The day wraps up with some heartfelt goodbyes. Mihari teases Mahiro for becoming friends with a middle schooler. On their way home, Momiji tells Kaede how cool and fun Mahiro is. Waking up to a bright morning, Mihari is flabbergasted to find Mahiro up and about, even having breakfast. A rarity for Mahiro. A limited edition of an anime are on sale, and Mahiro won't let them slip. Seeing Mahiro stepping outside her comfort zone leaves Mihari deeply moved. Taking in the moment, Mahiro cherishes her newfound treasures outside an anime store. But things soon take a turn when a group of teenage boys spot Mahiro, making her self-conscious, and she quickly makes a beeline away. But what's this? An arcade in sight. Mahiro's eyes light up with nostalgia. She initially avoids the testosterone-charged fighting game section, but the selfie area and its promise of a girl-only zone beckons her. And there, she dives into an adorable photo session. Enter 3 teenage girls, and panic mode activated. Mahiro's venture to the main arcade area, where she engrosses herself in rhythm games. But she can't shake the feeling of being watched, and right she is. The gentle juvenile officer wonders why such a young-looking girl is not in school on a weekday. Back home, we find Mahiro, broken and seeking comfort in Mihari's embrace. Mihari is torn between being proud of Mahiro's social progress and wanting to protect her from the world's misunderstandings. Next day, Mahiro is peacefully washing her face. Enter Mihari, holding up the numerous split ends of Mahiro's hair. Although Mahiro is ready to chop it all off, Mihari declares, "We're storming the hair salon." The salon doors open to reveal a radiant stylist. As Mahiro takes her seat, the chit-chat begins. Her face turns red with every personal question. The shampoo phase then kicks in. Let's just say things get surprisingly comfortable, and Mahiro dozes off to her sleep. Mahiro is completely baffled by her new appearance, and Mihari is loving every moment of it. Our duo heads home, and Mahiro is playing with her newly luxurious hair. But Mihari pulls out the bill, and let's just say the price for beauty ain't cheap. Jump to a dimly lit room with Mahiro deep into her video game. But out of the shadows emerges the mummy, or Mihari's attempt at it. But the real scare is the invite to Keide's Halloween bash. A dilemma for Mahiro. Dive into socializing or cozy up at home. The door swings wide, revealing a fluffy husky dog outfit. Keide engulfs the beast in a big ol' hug, exclaiming, "You are so cute!" But plot twist. Mahiro, looking around, realizes that this is no costume party. She had been tricked by Mihari. Things move fast, with Keide and Mihari transitioning to kitchen duties, and Mahiro dragged by Momiji to her room. As they get comfy, Mahiro switch into one of Momiji's casual outfits. The two get candid, discussing their, physical developments, or the lack thereof. And then, Momiji whispers the age-old question, "Is there a way to, make 'em grow?" Just as things seem to get too heavy, the door bursts open. It's Kaede, announcing that the feast is ready. Imagine a table laden with a sumptuous spread. While munching away, the topic of the elusive older brother makes its way into the conversation. The atmosphere gets heavy, but Mihari quickly shifts gears to brainstorm vacay plans. Dawn breaks, Mahiro locked in an intense Game Boy session. But not for long, the doorbell rings, announcing the arrival of Momiji. But wait, she isn't alone. Two unfamiliar faces stand by her side, and Mahiro is mortified. Jump into a classroom with Mahiro introducing herself, but as she settles into her new environment, she screams internally, "Why am I here?" Flashback time. Upon seeing Momiji and her two mysterious companions, she hides behind Mihari. They are just asking Mahiro out for parfaits. Mihari then pushes Mahiro out the door with a cheeky grin. Our girl gang settles in, and the introductions roll. Asahi, bubbly and bright, quickly takes the stage, while Mio-chan seems to be more of a silent observer. Asahi quickly offers Mahiro a delicious bite of her parfait. But wait, in comes Momiji, playing the parfait thief. The pure, innocent vibes have us all smiling ear to ear. With full bellies and happy hearts, our group walks home. There's a heartwarming moment when they assure her she's one of them. As soon as Mahiro steps in her house, Mihari already asking how her day went. After shower, Mahiro is met with a surprising sight. Mihari in a cute school uniform. Things then take a serious turn when Mihari unveils that the mysterious drug's effects aren't fading anytime soon. And guess where Mahiro's headed next? Yup, you guessed it. Back to middle school as a girl. Seated in class, a barrage of compliments come flying her way. As things get a bit too much for her, who comes to the rescue? The ever-graceful Momiji-sama. Momiji effortlessly manages the crowd, but then another twist. Enter Asahi and Mio-chan, bringing their unique charm with some playful teasing, a bit of lighthearted humor, and lots of hugs. The final bell tolls. A drained Mahiro collapses, relieved that she made it through the day. On her way out, he faces yet another dilemma, the call of nature. But oh no, a mix-up leads her to the boys' bathroom. Recovering quickly, she dashes to the girls' side, but turns out girls often go to the restroom in groups. Caught off guard, she bails on her bathroom break. Just as her face turns blue, Momiji realizes they're at her house. She bursts through the door and wham! Collides with Mihari. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. Cut to the next school day, Mihari hands her the book bag and catapults her out the door to meet Kaid and Momiji. At school, she settles at her desk, intending to snooze through PE class. She's so sleepy that she starts undressing right there. Momiji quickly jumps in and guides Mahiro to another adventure, the girls' locker room. Mahiro steps into the locker room, and her eyes are bouncing around like a pinball. Realizing the awkwardness, Mahiro hurries to change. So we're outdoors for PE. Mio-chan drops the bomb. It's long-distance running all month. Mio-chan notices something's up, and good ol' Mahiro says her tummy's churning. Mio-chan consults with the teacher, and guess what? Mahiro gets to sit out. Here comes Mio-chan, bouncing her way through the course. Then Momiji dashes by, setting new personal records. And of course, Asahi's basically a human rocket, taking first place. Mahiro gets up and hands out water bottles. Mio-chan finishes and asks Mahiro if she has one. Over dinner, Mahiro spills the beans to Mihari about the day's drama. Turns out Mio-chan thought Mahiro was on her period, and by the time Mahiro realized, it was too late to backpedal. And that's a wrap for this episode, folks. From spooky tales to midnight accidents, this sleepover had it all. If you're loving these twists as much as I am, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more anime mayhem. See you next time.